Start do that. All right, I'm ready whenever you guys are.
All right, so I'll just start whenever.
Okay.
Okay. For our category analysis, we decided to look deeper into office supplies and equipment. To start, the overall spend is $185,577,724.99. The overall total spends on office supplies and equipment is $3.4 million. Total office supplies and equipment account for 1.84% of the total spend, which doesn't really seem like a lot, but in reality is very relevant. There are a few categories within office supplies and equipment. The first is miscellaneous office equipment. Then there are office supplies, which include copy and print, dry erase, label indexes, mail machines, sticky notes, miscellaneous office supplies, and toner and ink. And the final group is packing, which includes bags and film. Okay. Next, we broke down each category to examine which had the biggest stake in office supplies and equipment. We did this by dividing the total amount within their category by the overall total of office supplies and equipment, which was 3.4 million. The biggest percentages came from copy and print, miscellaneous office equipment and supplies, and toner and ink, which really stood out. This seems to be a very large percentage that we looked into further.
We decided to dive deeper into the miscellaneous office equipment and supplies expense, since over half the office supplies and equipment come from this category. 57.9% of the office supplies and equipment come from miscellaneous office equipment and supplies. From specifically miscellaneous office supplies, $435,854.36. We know, oh my gosh, we know goes towards office machines and use only 4 supplies for these products. This seems to be fair, since it specifically says where the money is going, and there is small numbers of supplies. This means that $1,541,976 is left from miscellaneous office equipment. This is concerning because these entries are not assigned a description for what it brought for the $1.5 million. It's a lot of money to not know exactly what is being used for. Miscellaneous office equipment has an abundance of suppliers. As we can see from the graph, there is an overwhelming amount of suppliers. The main suppliers are including Staples, Office Depot, B&H Photos, Dell, Walmart, and Amazon.
You skipped a slide.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that was just like say that same thing that you just said over, but with this slide showing.
Miscellaneous office equipment had an abundance of suppliers. We can see from the graph that there is an overwhelming amount of suppliers. The main suppliers include Staples, Office Depot, B&H Photo, Dell, Walmart, and Amazon. By limiting certain suppliers, the amount for a very small amount of our purchases, they should be able to cut costs efficiently. They should continue to use the suppliers that they buy most of the miscellaneous office equipment from. Since they most likely have a corporate amount lined up, big suppliers like Staples, Amazon, Walmart, or Dell should be able to prove almost all of our miscellaneous office equipment. Considering that they sell an abundance of different products. Essentially, there is no need for us to be using small suppliers or using a certain supplier only once. Oh, sorry.
Since there is no need to be using a supplier only once when there are big suppliers that would be able to fill all of our needs, we look deeper into this. For instance, we wanted to see how much would be eliminated if we took out all the entries from a single supplier where we only spent $0 to $100. We can assume these costs are not as relevant since we only bought from the supplier once for under $100. Overall, $7,456 came from suppliers we only used once, from $0 to $100. This does not seem like a lot, but every penny adds up, and there is a lot of cost saving opportunities in this area. These costs seem to be convenient expenditures that could be eliminated with better planning. Essentially, there is no reason why they should be using a supplier one time for 100 or $0 to $100. This seems to be unnecessary costs that could be avoided. We took the same example but expanded it to a larger scale. We did the same thing but eliminated suppliers only used once from a $0 to $1,000 scale. When added up, $88,075 came from these types of entries. Like we mentioned in the last example, these costs seem to be convenient costs that could easily be avoided. Instead of continuing this pattern, they should purchase these items under a corporate account with a larger supplier. All in all, there are a lot of ways to reduce costs within the miscellaneous office equipment category. They should take advantage of corporate accounts with larger suppliers more often. Sometimes ordering under a corporate account gives you a discount or benefits when ordering bulk and things like that. There is no need to be purchasing from completely random suppliers when a large supplier should be able to provide all of our miscellaneous office equipment needs. They also need to eliminate convenient expenditures. By doing this, they need to plan for the future more efficiently to avoid costs like this. In addition, they should add strict policies on who can buy, where they can buy, and what they can buy under miscellaneous office equipment. From looking at the entries, it seems like a lot of people have access to a corporate card and are kind of just buying whatever they want whenever they want. Implementing rules would definitely save costs, especially if there was some kind of penalty for certain purchases. They also need to monitor the expenses more. A lot of unnecessary costs included in the examples above do not come from suppliers that would sell what we consider typical miscellaneous office equipment. In other words, weird charges that came from suppliers who do not supply any kind of office equipment appeared. For example, places like Kegler's, Chick-fil-A, Atria's, several hotels, and even a casino appeared under miscellaneous office equipment. It seems like some people are taking advantage of the miscellaneous office equipment category and are using this account for other needs. Charges like this should be removed from this account and relocated to food and beverage or travel. To conclude, the miscellaneous equipment category is unnecessarily high and very unorganized. We understand it is a miscellaneous account, but it seems to be very messy and should be further looked at in hopes of reducing costs in the future. If anything, this category needs to be reorganized since a lot of the entries come from suppliers that do not supply office equipment. Overall, if we were to use the above strategies, we should be able to reduce the high miscellaneous office expense and save a lot of money for the company as a whole.